Yeah, they call me famous, but that's just my name. I'm rooted in oil, that's my real claim to fame. Rooted in essential oils is about a health journey, sharing what's real and true. Natural wellness, a plant-based point of view. Got essential oils, the power is real. Helping you live healthier, that's the whole deal. Cause I'm rooted in essential oils, where the journey begins. From clean beauty to home essentials, we're all in. DIY recipes, demos on the way. I have oil for everything at Root and Essential Oils. Yeah, they call me famous, but that's just my name. I'm rooted in oil, that's my real claim to fame. Rooted in essential oils is about a health journey, sharing what's real and true. Natural wellness, a plant-based point of view. Got essential oils, the power is real. Helping you live healthier, that's the whole deal. Cause I'm rooted in essential oils, where the journey begins. From clean beauty to home essentials, we're all in. DIY recipes, demos on the way. I have oil for everything at Root and Essential Oils. Yeah, they call me famous, but that's just my name. I'm rooted in oil, that's my real claim to fame. Rooted in essential oils is about a health journey, sharing what's real and true. Natural wellness, a plant-based point of view. Got essential oils, the power is real. Helping you live healthier, that's the whole deal. Cause I'm rooted in essential oils, where the journey begins. From clean beauty to home essentials, we're all in. DIY recipes, demos on the way. I have oil for everything at Root and Essential Oils.
Welcome to Rooted in Essential Oils. My name is Famous, and welcome to this live stream. I am not sure why you cannot see me. We're going to fix that, though. Oh, that's why, because the camera wasn't on. Thank you for joining me. My name is Famous. Yes, that is my real name. If you are new to the channel, think about subscribing to the channel. We love new family members here. And yes, I call my subscribers here family because you are an extended family of mine. So welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you're in the chat, put something in the chat. Come on out of them bushes. Let us know you're here. But I do appreciate each and every one of you joining me tonight. Welcome in. If you're not familiar with the channel, I'm all about health and wellness and using plant-based products for my everyday needs and my family's needs. But I do showcase other things like working out. I do eat healthy, and you'll see a lot of different varieties of healthy eating, like juicing, cooking. So we're well-rounded over here, and I do apologize for coming on a little late. I added a new thing to my health and wellness regimen, and that is to work out on Thursdays. And I actually do it with some of my high school buddies. Um, yeah, we do a Thursday workout, and I'll start sharing it in my community post. So if you ever want to join it, you can. It's free. It's on Zoom, and it is kind of intense. You can do it at your own pace, though. Um, it's a husband and wife duo. So the wife usually shows you like modified versions of the exercise. It's a really good workout. And yeah, it was intense though. I'm a fair warn you, it is intense. But you do it at your own pace. You don't have to do it like how fast they're doing it. And you don't have to have your camera on either. But I'll share it for next Thursday. So if anyone wants to join, you can. It's about 20 to 30-minute long workout. So it's not too long, but it's a good workout. So look forward to joining on Thursdays. It's at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, that would be 9 o'clock your time, East Coast time. So yeah, great workout. But tonight we are going to be discussing essential oils with emotions and how that can play a part. And if you're not familiar with essential oils, they do work hand in hand. And I'll give you some background on how to use essential oils and things like that, but they do connect with your emotions. And at the end, I will ask you some questions. So if you want to participate and stick to the end, we will be reading a few things out of this book. It's called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. If you want to screenshot it, get this book. It's a really great book. I haven't read the whole thing, and I've had it for maybe 2 years, maybe 3 at most. But it's a really good book, and it has a lot of health and wellness related things in here, especially with like chakra points, your pressure points. Like there's a lot of information in here. So I'm still learning. I don't know everything, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm nothing in the medical field. But what I can tell you is my own experience and what I believe to be true. And if you choose to, you can do your own research too, and see what you come up with. But I love to just use essential oils in a lot of different ways. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So if you do have any questions, I'll try to give you as much information. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know, but I'll do some research. And I should have brought a pen and paper. That way I could write down some things. But thank you for joining me. Let's see who we got in the chat. We got Elevated. Welcome in. Welcome in. Then I put in there, welcome in, fam, because you are my family. The Bud Files, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Welcome, Miss T. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Rooted, stopping by to show and support. Thank you for the love and support. I appreciate it. So we are going to be talking about essential oils. If you've never used essential oils, put new in the chat. If you're new to essential oils, put new. If you are seasoned and you've been using them for years and years, put seasoned. But I'm definitely a seasoned person when it comes to essential oils, but I don't know everything about essential oils. I'm not an aromatherapist or anything like that. I just know from my own research, and I've been using them for almost 5 years now. So I have some, like a little bit of experience with them, but love to use essential oils. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here, Anderson. Welcome, and thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so already. But let's get into it. If you have questions, please ask. 100, a 10, okay, I like it. But so essential oils, if you didn't know, should be plant-based. And I say this all the time on my channel. They are not all equal. So if you're buying essential oils from like Target or Walmart, and those are just examples, you may buy them from other sources, but if they are not pure 100% plant-based premium essential oils, then um, they could be like induced with like other things like chemically made or something to stretch the oil to make more money off of it. And that's not what you want. I accidentally typed money. Well, I like money. I meant 100. Okay. I get it. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It's okay. Um, KC, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So essential oils should be plant-based and they shouldn't have anything added to them, but there are companies out there that add things to their essential oils, and that's not what you want, especially if they are additives or enhancements or like fillers. You don't want that with essential oils. I always say the best way to describe an essential oil is the blood of the plant. So you're extracting that blood from the plant. And essential oils come from a lot of different matters, plant matters. So it could come from citrus fruits like oranges, tangerines, limes, lemons, and they extract it from the rind of the fruit. And they're usually cold pressed from the fruit. Now, there are other ways you can extract essential oils, like let's say, for instance, like I'm kind of like losing my train of thought, but we'll say pine, like a pine tree. The needles from the pine tree are usually extracted from the needles. You can also get essential oils from the bark. You can get it from flowers. And usually those are steam distilled. So you put it into a chamber, you heat up the plant matter with water, and that steam will go into another canister and it will trap that essential oil, and then it eventually gets trapped into another container where the essential oil floats on top of the water, because water and oil do not mix. And that's how they get the oil from the plant matter. But oils come from a lot of different things, but they should be plant-based. And when you start adding things to them that are not natural and plant-based, then you defeat the purpose of the essential oil, and they can actually do some harm to you, because now you're adding chemicals to it, and oils do absorb into your skin. So whatever you touch, and it don't even have to be an oil. It can be chemicals or whatever you're using, but you absorb it when you touch it. And that absorption can get into your bloodstream. It can touch cell membranes in your body, and it just can be kind of, depending on what it is, it can be very bad for your health. So if you're using essential oils and they are not pure 100% plant-based essential oils and they have synthetics in them, then you're not doing your health any justice. You could be harming yourself. So keep that in mind. Keep it all natural. You want to use companies that do third-party companies. You don't want to just take the company's word for it and say, okay, we use this and that, and we don't add things to them. You want third-party testing, because that way you can actually trust it. An outsider comes in, tests the products, and make sure it is what they say they are producing. And with the company that I'm with, they do third-party testing, so it's a great thing to do. And I'm not saying the company that I'm with is the only company that does it. There are other companies. Just do your research when it comes to that. Find the best fit for you. But I found this a best fit for me and my family, and it works. So I've never switched over to another company. I've never used other brands with essential oils. I just know that if they're not natural and plant-based, don't use them. So with essential oils, you can mostly use them topically. So that's applying it to your skin. And remember, whatever you touch, you're absorbing. And that's the fastest way, one of the fastest ways to use essential oils and it getting into your bloodstream and working and supporting your body. The other way is aromatically, and that's breathing it in. and we're actually going to use the diffuser. Hopefully you can see me do this. So I am going to use a essential oil blend. It's called Candy Hearts because we are in Valentine's Day here soon. There's a lot of citrus oils in here. It does smell like sweet, citrusy. It has a vanilla aroma to it. It does smell like candy, and I like the scent of this. It's called Candy Hearts. But I have a diffuser here, and we're gonna get it going. So we pour warm water into the diffuser up to the fill line, and then I'll turn this light on. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm dripping the oil into the water. We did 4 drops of essential oil of the Candy Heart, and then you just turn on the diffuser, and this will put vapors into the air. So I know it looks like smoke coming out of there, but it's not smoke. It's actually water vapors and essential oils. And I'll turn the camera so you can see just a little better. So right there is the diffuser. It looks like smoke coming out of it. That is water vapors and the essential oil of Candy Heart. And it's a really great scent. This is going to support my emotional system. And I'm not a scientific guy, so I am going to be reading some things, but I know to be true that essential oils do help support your emotions and so much. Different oils can support you in different ways. So if you are a person that uses essential oils, put oils in the chat. Let's see who uses oils on a regular. And even if you don't use them on a regular, you should, especially if they're plant-based, because they can do so much greatness for you. Don't let them collect dust. And if you're using a synthetic essential oil, throw it away and get some plant-based ones, because you could be harming yourself. But essential oils, yes. So you can use it aromatically, which is in the diffuser, but you can also do this little trick, and it is both ways. So you can drip it in your hand. 1 drop is more than enough, just 1 drop. You can see the oil in my hand. Rub it in both hands. You don't have to rub all hard, just gently. And then you cup your hand like that and breathe it in. So now we're getting it aromatically, but we're also getting it topically because we touched it and it's absorbing into our skin. We can rub it on places like our neck, on our forearms, and it smells wonderful. Very citrusy, very vanilla, very uplifting. So those are some ways that you can use essential oils, and it is safe to apply it onto your skin. But if you do have sensitive skin or you have like little ones, you can use like a carrier oil. Carrier oils are like jojoba oil. That's the closest oil that your body is making. Your body naturally makes oil. So if you want to use something close to what your body's making, use jojoba oil. You can use fractionated coconut oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil, vegetable oil. All of those are carrier oils. And a carrier oil has bigger molecules. So when you apply it to your skin, it slows down the absorption rate of the essential oil. So it doesn't it dilutes the oil, the essential oil, but it doesn't weaken it. It slows down the absorption of how fast you're absorbing that essential oil. So if you want it to linger and last a little longer, definitely use a carrier oil. But essential oils you can apply over and over. So if you want the effect to last a lot longer, use it more frequently. It's not like medication. It's not like, oh, I have to take it every 4 hours. No, you want to apply it like every 15, 30, or even once an hour, just to benefit you a lot more. But there is another way to use essential oils, but we're not going to talk about that one. If you want to learn about that one, go back and watch my previous lives, it gives you a reason on the third reason on how to use essential oils. But just make sure they're plant-based and pure. But so tonight we are talking about emotions with essential oils. Now, there are different essential oils to help with different areas of your body or emotions. We always go through something with our emotions, whether it's happy, sad, in between. It can be. And sometimes you can have all of that in just one day or even like in a few hours, just depending on what is going on in your life and your lifestyle. But so I wanted to tell you, if you didn't know, the essential oils do support your lymphatic system, which is where your emotional center of the brain is. So when you use essential oils, it will support the lymphatic system. Um, if you ever feel like you need some emotional support, definitely reach for some essential oils. If you don't want to have like a medication to help with it, you have alternatives with a natural, holistic way, and that is with essential oils. Um, with scent, it always triggers something, some type of memory. And we're going to talk about that here in a second, but it usually triggers memories, especially if it's a good smell or even a bad smell. Um, Scent is definitely a part of your emotional connection. Um, and essential oils are powerful and they can support your mood in any type of way. So it doesn't matter if you're up or down, but it can support it. And you'll notice it if you start using these essential oils as tools and don't use them like they're crutches or like band-aids or they're going to wipe everything away, because it's not going to wipe everything away, but it will help. Like, the best way I can say is support you through whatever you're going through. And you'll see it if you start noticing your body, notice your emotions, be in tune with yourself. Your nose is directly wired to your nervous system, if you didn't know. And that's why oils work fast. So if you've seen my previous live, if you apply it to your skin, it takes 2 minutes just to get into your bloodstream. So in 2 minutes, when I just applied this oil, it will be in my bloodstream within 2 minutes. So probably right about now. If you breathe it in, it only takes 22 seconds to get to your brain. 22 seconds. And essential oils have small molecules, so it can reach really, really quickly. And there is another one, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me see if I have a picture of it real quick, because I've been talking about oils all month long. All right, so 22 seconds for molecules to reach the brain, 2 minutes, and it's found in your bloodstream, and 20 minutes, it affects every cell in the body. So 20 minutes, and it will affect every single cell in the body, and that is pretty fast. So imagine if you were using essential oils and they were synthetically made, or they might have some essential oil in it, but they are filled with other things. Well, you're putting that stuff in your body, and that's not a good thing. And it's going to affect you in a negative way. So make sure they're pure and 100% plant-based. All right, back to the note. All right, so before you want to fix your emotions, you have to identify them. So if you're going through anything in the chat, please put it in the chat. What emotion are you feeling right now? What are you feeling? What emotion are you feeling? Are you feeling stress? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling overwhelmed, tired, angry, unmotivated, sad, excited, grateful? What emotion are you feeling? For me, I was feeling a little anxious before I came on here. but this oil definitely did help, and I definitely calmed down. I definitely felt a little overwhelmed, and that's because I just came from my workout, so that's why I'm not even in my shirt. I'm in like a muscle shirt, um, and I'm somewhat hungry because of that workout. So I'm like a little bit of hungry, a little bit of overwhelmed, and I was excited to do this, but I was also a little kind of nervous because I don't know everything about essential oils and emotions. But we're gonna just go with what I have. So, um, hello, hello, just gifted. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. We're talking about oils, essential oils, and emotions. And I just asked, and if you want to participate, what emotion are you feeling in right now? What are you feeling? What emotion are you feeling? Stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, tired, angry, unmotivated, sad, excited, grateful, blessed? What are you feeling? Put it in the chat. But emotions are signals, not enemies. So you should recognize how you feel. And if you're not sure of how you feel, get in tune with yourself. Do some meditation, talk to God or the universe, whoever you may call on. Talk. Just talk. All right. So I do want to read something out of this book. And again, it's called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. And I feel like this is a great way to start. So it says, do you feel yourself at the mercy of your emotions? Is shifting out of a negative emotion state difficult? Do you get pulled into emotional vertex of those around you? Do you feel yourself repetitively responding in the same negative way to some situations, regardless of your best intentions to do otherwise? Do your negative emotions seem to be beyond your control? So, me, I feel like I don't have like negative thoughts like this. Yes, we will have, okay, overwhelmed. That's a good one. And I'll get back to you. Just gift it. Um, I feel like not all of our thoughts are negative, especially if you're in tuned with your thoughts, because you try to change your thoughts. You don't want to always have negative thoughts. But yes, we're human, so it does happen and we start thinking. We just don't want to go down a rabbit hole when it comes to negative thinking. Yes, it's going to happen, but no, do we don't want to be stuck in that. So change it quickly. Quickly, snap out of it. All right, so emotions are like ocean waves. They ebb and flow. They are powerful and provide momentum. Initially, most of us are aware of the negative side of an emotion, but rarely do we know the positive or other side, let alone how to access it. For example, we all have experienced anger, but what is the opposite of positive emotion? How do we get there, especially when we are embroidered in anger? The expression of the negative side of an emotion is usually painful. Consequently, we develop defenses to protect ourselves. One of the most common defenses is to ignore, repress, or stuff our negative emotions. That's one thing that I don't like to do is sit on my feelings, especially if it's something I do not will resonate or just I don't want that bad feeling. I don't want to sit on it. So I will speak on it, whether that's to myself, to God, to my husband, even to my son. But I don't like linger on that negative emotion. And I definitely want to talk it out so I can change the way I'm thinking. And a lot of the times, my husband will help with that if I'm feeling some type of way. What happens when we stuff negative emotions? They are held in the body and eventually produce physical and emotional pain. So if you didn't know, your emotions, they can harbor into your organs. And when you do that, they will manifest if you don't handle that emotion. If you don't handle that emotion, it will manifest into health issues. So um, it's best to take control of that emotion. Sit in that emotion. It's okay to sit in it, but just don't stay in it. Emotions have a negative and positive. We need to be able to access both of all our emotions to be fully alive. Avoiding situations that can avoiding situations that could cause emotional pain limits our life experiences. That's so true. All right, so overwhelmed. I am going to talk about that here in just a second, just gifted. So stick with me, stick with me. But there's something else I wanted to read out of here. Where did it go? All right, so essential oils to release or change emotional patterns. Have you ever noticed how smells? I kind of touched on this a little bit, but have you ever noticed how smells like baked bread can send you back to childhood memories and all the feelings associated with your favorite grandmother? Smell accesses the limbic system of the brain, which is the seat of our emotions. So I kind of touched on that just a little bit ago. So when you smell things, it triggers something into your brain and it will trigger like memory. So if it's a good or bad smell, it will trigger a memory, especially if it's a recognizable smell. So that's why they were talking about baked bread, um, or whatever scent that just brings back a good memory or a bad memory. And I can't, let me see if I can think of a bad memory and a bad smell. Um, I can't think of one right now, but like when I smell sweet potatoes, it reminds me of my grandmother baking sweet potato pie. Like she was the queen of all sweet potatoes, and she did her thing, and it just reminds me of her sweet potato pie. So ancient Egyptians used essential oils. Did you know that? Essential oils go way back. They're not just currently now. They were used for centuries. So ancient Egyptians used essential oils to clear specific emotions, recorded them on the walls of certain temples and healing chambers. That is crazy. Because I would love to go to Egypt, see it in a temple of them using like essential oils and things like that. That would be amazing. All right, so I hope I can pronounce this correctly. Serpentines found in high levels in essential oils such as frankincense and sandalwood help to increase the oxygen in the limbic system of the brain, which in turn unlocks the DNA and allows the emotional baggage to be released from cellular memory. So basically, you're bringing, when you're using frankincense and sandalwood, it helps bring oxygen into the brain. And then you're unlocking things and releasing your emotional baggage, which is crazy because who knew you could use essential oils to release emotional baggage? Emotions have been found to be encoded within the DNA of the cells and passed from generations to generations. Emotional behavior patterns have even been found to be locked within families. Transplant transplant report strange memories and desires. Recently studied at New York's University provide the amygdala gland the gland in the limbic system of the brain that stores and releases trauma in the body. Does not respond to sound or sight or touch, but only releases emotional trauma through the sense of smell. So, smell is so powerful. It can release things, especially trauma. You just got to use those essential oils, y'all. So, I felt like that was like pretty like, why aren't you using essential oils? You should. Like we've all been through something traumatic, whether it was from our childhood or even maybe even recently. But we've all been through something, and to release things and to let go, use essential oils to help you. Again, they're not band-aids or a magic pill. They are tools to support you through your emotions so you can let and release. God put these plants here for a reason. So let's use them. All right. And we've been here for 40 minutes. And I'm going to be here for another 20. So I'm going to read one more thing, and then I will get to your overwhelmed if you're still here, Miss Sonia. There was something else, and I didn't highlight it. I did not highlight it. I feel like here we'll read this. Identifying emotional patterns. The easiest way to identify emotional patterns is through your feelings. While a trauma, either real or perceived, will set up the initial pattern, similar situations trigger the pattern, providing an opportunity to either prelude or heal it. Anything that bothers you carries an emotional charge. As your awareness grows, you have more resources to handle a situation differently, learning from your past experiences. If you choose to ignore and suppress the feelings, the problem tends to magnify each time it presents itself. So if you're not going to take care of whatever you're going through, if it's emotionally attached to you and you're not identifying it and addressing it, you're going to keep going through it. You're going to keep going through it until you find a way, and oils can help you with that. You just got to find your way. Find your way and use essential oils. That's what I can tell you. Use those oils. I do feel a difference mentally and spiritually with my emotions and connecting myself and just being more grounded and in tune with what I use on a daily basis. So I've seen a difference if I'm not in the happiest mood, or for some reason, like the other day, I think it was like Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember exactly the day, but I just wasn't. I wasn't happy. I wasn't mad, but I was in a mood, and I was like, let me use some oils. And I definitely use citrus oils because they're more uplifting. I feel like with like tree oils, they're more uplifting but grounding. And then floral, they're like floral or like sweet scents. They're, how can I put it? I don't know how to describe how the floral. It's not like It's a joyful, kind of like joyful, if that makes sense. Fun. Um, I don't know. They're just a vibe. Um, I'm here. Okay. Good, Miss Sonia. And thank you for still being here. I appreciate you. Um, Let me finish reading this and then I'll get to overwhelmed. I promise. All right. So anything that bothers you carries an emotional charge. As your awareness grows, you have more resources to handle a situation differently, learning from your past experiences. If you choose to ignore it and suppress the feelings, the problem tends to magnify each time it presents itself. The essence of our life experiences is to have experiences so we can learn, grow, and master. The experiences we learn most from are the ones that get our attention. For most of us, it takes pain to cause us to look at a situation. However, all too often, emotional trauma produces more pain than we can deal with. So we block it off from our conscious awareness since we are supposed to get wiser as we get older. Learning from life's experiences, the unhealed emotional trauma eventually resurfaces. Why? Because there is something we needed to learn. What is the basic lesson? To come from love rather than fear. All emotions stem from either love or fear. Fear ultimately comes from a disconnection with one's spiritual source. And that is so crazy. Kind of gave me chills. Because I believe in that. I believe in all of that. All right, so it says consequentially, all religion and spiritual paths point to a supreme spiritual being as the source of all that is. The goal is spiritual connection with which is reflected in the way we live our lives. Essentially, being spiritually aligned aligned allows one to come from love and express the positive qualities of life. The body holds emotional patterns regardless of con- conscious conscious awareness. Since the body never lies and holds blocked energy, it is a good indicator of unresolved emotional issues. Oftentimes, the first indication of a problem is pain, physical, emotional, or both. Many physical problems have an emotional component, especially when they are chronic. Some emotions are so strong and evident that they are easily to recognize. When this is the case, you can approach the emotion by going to the specific emotion found in the emotion resource section and begin directly releasing it. Sometimes we bury our emotions, they are stored in the body until significant pressure builds, producing pain or disease in the area. To identify the emotion associated with a particular area of pain, locate the pain on the body chart and refer to the body resource for the associated emotion. So I know that was a lot, but it makes a lot of sense when you have this book in front of you and you're reading it. Um, Emotions if you're not taking care of your emotions, basically they manifest into health issues. And to help release those emotions, because again, you have emotions, and if you're not taking care of them, they will store themselves in your organs, different parts of your body. So if you're having like kidney something or liver something or even heart something or gut something, it's because your emotions are connected to what you're going through. And if you're not dealing with those emotions, they manifest into health issues. So I'm going to get to a part of the book where you can figure out what essential oil can support you through an emotion. And I have just gifted Miss Sonia. She put overwhelmed. That is what she was feeling. So in this book, if you go to overwhelm, that's the emotion, it will give you the oil that can support you with that emotion. And then it gives you like a way out. So it says the emotion and then whatever emotion. So we're going to go to overwhelm. Let me find it. It is. All right, so I found it. It says overwhelmed is the emotion. The other side of overwhelmed is vision. The way out is focus my energy. So you would say focus my energy. And then the oil to use for that overwhelmed feeling is called envision. Now, I don't know the alarm points, so I won't be able to specifically tell you where to place this because I haven't learned that part. It is in this book. I just haven't got to that. But it says place it on your alarm point vision. So I'm not sure where that would be. We can see, like, it has a whole little pictogram of like a person. It shows you the body. It will show you your hands. It will even show the back of the body. So it's telling you where to place things. I just haven't gotten that far into it to learn the alarm points. So it says vision. Maybe we can find it. Maybe. Vision. I'm trying to find it. Okay, I see vision. Center of temple, 1 inch above somatic arch. So it says B. Chart B. Vision. So it's like your temple area is what I'm getting. This would be your vortex. Okay, so I'm learning. So you would want to place the... So overwhelmed is the emotion. Vision is the other side of that. I focus my energy is the way out. You would use the essential oil in vision. So it's spelled ENVISION. And the alarm point is vision. So to my calculation of using this book, it says your temple. That is your temple area, is where you would want to place that oil. And that helps with your overwhelmed emotion. Now, if anyone else is feeling a different type of an emotion, put it in the chat and we'll look it up. Right now, the emotion I'm feeling is hungry. And that's only because I finished my workout and I don't want to eat nothing heavy, but I'm going to eat some chicken. I got to cook some chicken, y'all. I know that's not really an emotion, but I'll go to an emotion that I felt when I first using essential oils. So there is another section of this book that you can go to, and it is more centered to the oils that I use from this specific company, Young Living. So you won't see other oil companies in here. It's specifically for Young Living's oils. But if there's an oil that you just don't resonate with, and there was a few of them that when I got them, I was like, I don't like that. So frankincense was one of the oils that I just did not like. It was very pungent and strong, and I was like, no, that ain't it. I don't like that. So you can look at what oils are in here, and then it will tell you the emotion that you were feeling. So with frankincense, it could be dizziness. So it says vertigo. It says worthless, the feeling of worthless. At that time, I probably was feeling a little worthless. And then it also says F you. F you. And I'm pretty sure I was definitely feeling F you. Um, and I'm not lying. It literally says at the top, like right where my finger is, it says F you. Um, Another oil that I did not resonate with when I first smelt it is called Peace and Calming. And Peace and Calming is it's definitely a pungent like musk smell. It just wasn't something I was like, ooh, that smells nice. Now, after probably a year of using it, maybe even 6 months, um, I got used to the scent and now I love it. It's one of my favorites. I actually have it right here in front of me. So this is Peace and Calming. And when I smelt it, when I first smelt it, I was like, nope, that ain't the oil. But now I just love it. It hits, it like gets in your sinuses. This is another way you can use oils is just smell it right out of the bottle. But it just gives you that peace and relaxation. Now for peace and calming, it gives you the emotion that are associated with peace and calming. So we have I feel like this is a lot of me when I first smelt it. Addiction. I was definitely going through addiction. I was drinking, smoking, um, argumentative. I was definitely arguing a lot, especially with my spouse. Victim, being a victim. Definitely always playing that victim role, like poor me. And that mainly came from my mom and my grandma. Like they did it a lot. They're the ones who raised me, and I was like, oh, poor me, poor this, poor that. I can't like. There was a lot of that going on. Depression, definitely was feeling depressed. Indecisiveness, definitely not being able to make a decision for the most part. Control, I was definitely in that season of like, oh, I need to be in control. Control this, control that, every single move. I'm like a chess player. And yeah. Moodiness. I guess I could say I was moody at that time. Definitely. Scared. Yeah, I was definitely scared. Definitely scared of a lot of different things. But I was going through a lot of those emotions, and that is all associated with peace and calming. So I definitely, when I first felt this, was like, yeah, this ain't it. And it's because I was going through all of that. But if there is an oil that you just don't resonate with, you can use it more. Use it more. And the way I got used to this is use it with bergamot. Bergamot has a woodsy citrus scent to it. And any kind of oil like frankincense or peace and calming, I would mix it with bergamot and then I would diffuse it in my diffuser or I would apply it to my skin. And that was how I was able to withstand that scent. And eventually I overcame those emotions. So at this time, and this probably stopped years ago, but I don't have an addiction anymore. I'm not a person that feels like I'm a victim. I'm definitely not an argumentative person. A lot of these just stopped, and it wasn't magic. It wasn't a magic thing. It just got me in tune to what I was doing with my emotions and setting them deeper and just sitting on them. And then I was like, yeah, we gotta release, we gotta let it be, and it did work. So yeah, definitely not going through any of that. Um, and maybe it comes up from time to time, but it's not like I'm sitting on those emotions where I'm like, ooh, I want to be argumentative today, or I have this addiction, or whatever it is, being scared or controlling. Like I definitely got that controlling under wraps. Um, because I was definitely a person, not micromanaging, but I was definitely one of those people where I would have to put my 2 cent in, and then I had to realize I was doing that and step back. and let people do their thing. And then if it hinders or harms someone, then before that happens, like step in and be like, hey, wait, let's not do it that way. Let's do it. Maybe we can try it this way. Or do you have another idea on how to do something? Mainly, I use that in the kitchen because if you didn't know, I was a chef, but definitely, and I still am a chef. I just am not in a kitchen right now. But yeah, a lot of different things that you can look up. So if there's a oil that you don't like, or if you want to see the attachment to that oil, um, this book is a really good book. It gives you what you need, and I need to read it more. There was another oil that I did not like. Joy. Joy has a floral scent to it, and joy used to be called love, but they changed it to joy. So the emotions that are connected with joy, essential oil, is anxiety. Definitely was going through anxiety, and I still have it from time to time. It's just not as bad. Disappointment, definitely. Grief, sure. Judgment, of course. Miserable, yeah, I could say that. Especially at that time, I was definitely miserable smelling the joy. Um, Joy has a more floral scent to it, so I just wasn't that guy who was like, "Ooh, I love a floral scent." It wasn't. It wasn't me. But again, how I got used to it is mixing it with bergamot. So I would do more of the joy, like 2, 3 drops in the diffuser, and then add a drop of bergamot or 2 drops of bergamot. Um, and you can play with the ratios however you would like. But yeah, definitely just did not like joy. And I know that's crazy to hear you don't like joy. Like, yeah, I didn't like that oil. And now I can withstand that joy. So I don't use it on a frequent basis, but if you stay tuned tomorrow, you'll see me use some joy. But yeah, oils are connected to your emotions. If anyone has any emotions you're feeling in the chat, put them in the chat and I will see what oil can support you with that emotion. The oil support emotional healing. Yes, Willie. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. They really do. One thing I like to tell people is when my mom passed away. So my mom passed away. It was 3 years last month in January. So when she passed away, it was the first time that I really had someone really close, like really close to me to pass. Like I've had people pass and like friends and things like that, but someone that close to me, it was very hard, and I kind of like blocked it out because I had to move all my mom's stuff, and I had really no help except my husband and her one of her best childhood friends. She helped, but it was just a lot to deal with, and then having to plan your mother's funeral and all of that, it was just very, very emotional. So I have these oils, and it's in a kit that's called fillings, the fillings kit. So I did use that a lot. It is filled with a lot of floral and grounding essential oils, so you're able to sit in your emotions and release those emotions. So I felt like those oils did help support me through that time, but it didn't like take away the pain because like there's nothing to take away that pain. Um, but they helped me grieve in a more healthier way, and they did help. I'm thankful for them. I still have the oils upstairs. I thought I was going to end up using all the oils in that time, but I do see myself using those oils from time to time, especially like last month. I did grab them. I think there's like 5 or maybe 6 essential oils And I just placed them all on me. Placed them over my heart, placed them on my forehead, placed them like just on my body and set in my emotions and helped release that, because you don't want to sit in your emotions, because then they store in your organs and your body and then you have health issues. So it's okay to be in those feelings, but don't stay in them, because that's when you have health issues. And Willie, you're absolutely right. So I do like to tell that story, because they do support in a lot of different ways. So if you need some uplifting, if you need um, grounding, if you need to center yourself, like, oils can do it. They can support you, and they are natural tools that you can use on a regular, frequent base without the side effects. And if you do have like sensitive skin and you can't like just apply like I did with the oil, if you can't do neat, so this is neat, putting it right on your skin without a carrier oil, you can dilute it with a carrier oil, which is bigger molecules. So if you do have that sensitive skin, use a carrier oil, and it will slow down the absorption rate. But I love using oils, as you can see, and that smell even. Yes, amazing. It's amazing. But we've been on here for an hour and 4 minutes. I don't see anyone putting any emotions in the chat, so um, I'll do this more frequently to see what emotions you are dealing with, and I will give you the oil to connect with. But I'll give you one. So let's do. It says sneaky, because that's where my eyes went to. We'll do sneaky. So the other side of sneaky would be direct. The way out is I am clear. The oil to use is thieves. I know that's crazy. The emotion you're feeling is sneaky, but you're using an oil called thieves. Thieves is made up of 5 essential oils: lemon, clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, and cinnamon bark. And the way they came up with these, it's really great for your immune system, but thieves was how they came up with that name is basically um, there were in the 1400s in the Europe side of the world, like European. Um, there was the Black Plague going on during the 1400s, and there were these thieves robbing the dead, and they were stealing like jewelry and like money and all that, foods, and they were robbing the dead, but they weren't getting sick. And the cops eventually found them, got a hold of them, and the cops basically said, if you give us your recipe on what you're using so you're not getting sick, we will give you a lighter sentence. They told them, and it was those 5 botanicals: lemon, clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, and cinnamon bark. Those is what they used so they didn't get sick, and it worked. And it was during the Black Plague. So the company that I'm with, Young Living, has made their whole product line of like cleaning supplies, hygiene products, whether it's toothpaste, mouthwash, dental floss. Um, they name their products that. They have an oil called Thieves, and it helps protect your immune system, but it also helps with emotional support. So you can use Thieves for that. It does have like a fall like scent, so cinnamon and clove. I'll give you one more. Shame. 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 So the emotion is shame. The other side of that is understanding. The way out is I learned from all of life's experiences. The oil to use is white angelica. White angelica is a great one. Um, to me, it smells like a hair product, but it does help with a lot of things. Um, But yeah, I do like white Angelica. I actually have the big bottle because they usually sell them in this size, but you can get, well, I got the bigger size, so I will not be running out of white Angelica. It's a good one. But I do appreciate each and every one of you joining me. I'm going to close out here. This is the book. If you want to get any of the oils, check out my website. I put the link in the description. I also give you a discount code on how to save money, so check out the description. My channel is my business, and I try to make it your business. So if you're wanting to use more natural plant-based things for your everyday needs, like essential oils, definitely check out the website where you can support the business of mine, but more importantly, support your health, because that's what we're here for. But I'll be back tomorrow and Saturday. But all month we're talking about essential oil. So if you've been missing my lives or videos, definitely go back and watch the replays. You can learn a lot here. And until next time, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Sleep well. Think about what we discussed tonight, and I'll see you on my next one. As always, pay for your health now or pay for your sickness later. Till next time. Bye for now. Love ya. Good night.
Yeah, they call me famous, but that's just my name. I'm rooted in oil, that's my real claim to fame. Rooted in essential oils is about a health journey, sharing what's real and true. Natural wellness, a plant-based point of view. Got essential oils, the power